So it may be just perfume to you, but to me, it's a source of migraine headaches and dizzy spells and asthma and an entire host of calamities that could take place. So we look at 66 million in the US experience moderate to severe reactions to fragrances, and then 36 million have specific allergies to fragrance. And I am in that group. So I could be having an amazing day and I come into a perfume cloud, and then those things could change for me because of how quickly it could deteriorate. And in the US, 96 to 98% of all hair care contains fragrances. So for me, this solution became a fragrance-free hypoallergenic hair care to meet the unique needs of sensitive individuals, and then moisturizing, hydrating, and nourishing hair care to meet those needs of the CurlyCoily community. And so that CurlyCoily group is the drier textures, the more fragile textures. And those are the ladies that have more specific needs of specialty products. So when you look at the 2018 Black hair care market sales, it's $2.51 billion. So there is a huge market and Black ladies spend on beauty. In fact, 2 times more is the frequency that Curly and Coily consumers are in the stores purchasing hair care products, or they're online purchasing hair care products. And at the same time, keep in mind that 2 times more of women of color have skin sensitivities. But then when you take a look at the retail shelf space and typical food, drug, and mass retailers, when you look at the specialty products for CurlyCoily and wavy hair care, that's only about 20% of the shelf space. Again, 20%, and then you look at these other numbers, and then in addition, CurlyCoily consumers spend about $247 a year. Personally, I think I spend that a month, but I have checked these statistics, and they say this is $247 a year. And that is 78% more than their straight-haired counterparts. So think for a minute about the 20% of the shelf space, and then think they're spending 78% more than their straight-haired counterparts, but the straight-haired counterparts have the larger portion of the shelf allocation. And 80% of these very same consumers buy specialty products, niche products, products specifically made for the Curly and Coily community. Now, when I consider our traction over 2019, our sales and our customer rates and indications of the value that we bring to market, our average order value, all of those numbers are trending very well, even through the midst of a pandemic. And then when you look at our sales for 2019 and 2020 combined, it's doing very well. But you know what truly gets me out of bed in the morning is when I hear a customer tell me, I used to line up all of my medications on the counter because I need to go wash my hair, and I know I'm going to have an allergic reaction. So do I need my asthma medication? Do I need my migraine medication? And that's what gets me out of bed in the morning when I think about what they are saying, the value the products bring to their life. When you look at our awards, the Oprah magazine named our Nourish treatment mask in the top 19. Naturally Curly named us a top 50 Black-owned brand. And then you can see some additional points of contact that we've had, articles that have been written, news feeds that we give, or podcasts that we may have been involved with. And also considering COVID-19, as we were getting going into this, we realized that more ladies were home, so they needed options, more options of what to do with their hair and more education. So we started increasing a few different things. We increased the number of product giveaways that we were doing because we wanted to recognize that financial situations were indeed changing. Educational offerings, our Love Your Curls Hair Challenge has been very well received. And we've also done more with our social media lives, and then the scope of our newsletters, like doing DIY type hair care treatments, things you can go into your kitchen and make on your own, even if you did not want to go ahead and place that order. And when you look at the competitive landscape and look at how we are positioned, essential oil free, fragrance oil free, so in hypoallergenic, so these are the things that matter to the portion of the community that we serve and how we line up to other key brands that are there.
Thank you for sharing. As a curly girl myself, I definitely understand the need for curly hair products and the options on the shelf. My question is specifically surrounding the claims that you have on the product in regards to the freebie, the free ofs, and the no-nos that I say that consumers want you to really stay away from. I noticed one of them was essential oils. And the mention was that the product was natural. As we know, most consumers are looking for essential oils. Many consumers are looking for essential oils. But how are you able to continue to provide the consumers with what they need from a natural standpoint by also avoiding natural essential oils at the same time?
Right. When you are going through allergy and pack testing, you're tested for compatibility with essential oils, and that is the standard for determining a fragrance allergy right now. And essential oils, there are a lot of common components between one essential oil type and another. And when you are fragrance allergic, you must avoid all essential oils. So we are using carrier oils instead to bring that nutrition, to bring those components to a hair care brand mixed with some appropriate ingredients that will bring out the moisture and the best in your hair.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thanks, Angela. And I also had a couple of questions about the product. It's a really interesting insight that 20% or so of consumers have issue with fragrances, but only 2 to 4% of the hair care products on the market don't have, or have no fragrance. Really interesting. It speaks to a big potential opportunity. I know personally, even though I don't have very much hair, that when I'm washing my hair, like the fragrance actually is sort of part of the routine for me. So I don't have fragrance issues, but I like the fragrance of as part of the usage of the product. So how do you think about that from a consumer standpoint? And I guess just more on the product and technical side, how do you achieve no fragrance? Because I think a lot of the times fragrance is used in manufacturing to sort of cover up the smell of the base. And how do you ensure that it's an enjoyable experience for the consumer?
That is a part of our testing when we're bringing the ingredients together, because when you look at the mix of oils and butters in our products individually, most of them have some type of scent, but collectively together it becomes very scent neutral. So that's a part that we look at when we're doing our testing as to how we feel it may blend together and why we may have changed some things around.
Thank you. How do you see a brick and mortar retailer?
I believe you're asking me, how do I see my brand in a brick and mortar retailer? Hopefully I'm accurate on that, but you did break up a little bit. I think it would be a very well rounded partnership, because when I'm in most brick and mortar locations, I'm looking for fragrance-free hair care options and I'm not finding them, but I know we exist. I know there is a market for the products. So I could be in an Ulta, I could be in a Sephora, a Target, or a Nordstrom, and I'm searching for that fragrance-free component, but I'm not seeing it on the shelves. So most of the products you have to order, and usually from a different country, depending on what your needs are, especially for drier hair textures.
Vote for your favorite pitch by visiting www.sheraise.com. Select a city, enter the donation for the pitches you love, and don't forget to leave feedback and/or hype comments for our founders.